Aloha, Shamans, and welcome to our little corner of the galaxy here in this dimensional space called EarthStar Spiritual Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. It is Friday night. We are live on YouTube. It is April 12th, 2024. We're your hosts tonight, Dale and Jeanne Stacy. We are the Abbots of EarthStar Spiritual Center, and we're also Usui Reiki masters and teachers. And tonight's topic will be on Reiki.
So welcome everybody on this Friday night. Thank you. There are many things you could have been doing, we're sure, and we appreciate your spending a little bit of time with us. As Dale said, we're going to be talking about Reiki tonight and telling you some things that we teach. And I'm sure many of you are already familiar with the term Reiki, and probably a lot of you already Reiki practitioners. So this might be a good review for some of you as well.
Yes, thank you, love. All right, so let's get right to it. So what we want to do tonight then is, well, let me say hello to somebody. Hello, Fire Owl.
From the woods.
From the woods. Great to hear from you. Hope you had a wonderful day. I'm sure you did. All right, so tonight then, just let you know, we'll go over some things as far as the learning objectives in our Reiki classes, because we happen to have a Reiki 1 and 2 class next Saturday and Sunday. Should you or you know of anyone else would like to attend, this will be an in-person class at EarthStar. And then also some of the things that we teach in our classes that maybe you are familiar with or not, then maybe you can do some additional study to help enhance your own Reiki training, should you've already had it with another master, or perhaps you could even ask your master, your teacher, whether or not they can offer this as a follow-up in one of their classes also. All right, so let's go right to the first one. So here we are. It is April 12th, 2024, Reiki Natural Healing. And you see the little big hand in the middle with that symbol right in the middle of that blue. So that's one of our Reiki symbols. That happens to be the master symbol. Right, and we are EarthStar Spiritual Center. We are a multi-faith church for a living aloha. Okay? And most of our things are online. We do have in-person classes, and sometimes once you register, we'll let you know where we can have those classes. So we've been doing this since 2002. So we've been on 22 years now, and we do love it. Okay, our guiding principles or core ideals are aloha, so all loving God, love, oneness, heart, and as above, so below, as you see there on the left. Something I encourage you to always remember as far as your journey here on Earth as a multi-dimensional being inhabiting this little carbon 3D body here on Earth as a human. Just remember that you are divine. You knew this when you came in this time, so make sure you remember it again to help give your particular life here in 3D Earth, to give it some guardrails, some guidelines. Right? Give it a sidewalk, a yellow brick road for you to follow. And remember to look divine, act divine, and be divine. And in accordance with that, make sure you know that you are awesome, you are beautiful, and you are perfect. So look awesome, beautiful, and perfect. Act awesome, beautiful, and perfect. And be awesome, beautiful, and perfect. Because you're here to serve others as a higher dimensional being. And you want to make sure you still remember your calling, your original instruction when you came down to Mother Earth this time. All right, so this is a list of classes we've got going on at EarthStar. You see in the upper left there, that's the Reiki 1 and 2 class. It will be next weekend. So it will generally go from 10 to 5 o'clock. Reiki 2 on Sunday, it may go to 6 o'clock. It depends. Depends on the questions and understanding the symbols and also all the hand movements. And so you can take both classes. That'd be great. That way you'll be ready for Reiki Master later on in the year when we offer that. So that'll be next weekend. So Reiki 1 and 2. And you can go online or go to Facebook. And I've got the show notes. In the show notes, you can click on that, and I'll take you to the website to give you more detail. All right, so tonight then, let's talk about Reiki. Or if we translate Reiki, so REI would be universal, and Ki would be energy. So think of Ki as universal energy. So that's the life force, the vital breath. If you've done Chinese martial arts or energy work, you know it's called Qi in that language. And then with yoga, it's called prana. So you've probably heard that. And if you've done Hawaiian shamanism, energy healing, energy work, it's mana or effective energy. Okay? So Reiki, universal energy. And we study and practice the Usui Reiki Roho. So Mikao Usui, that's the fellow on the bottom left there in the black and white picture. So he's the one who brought Reiki energy back to the main attention of humanity. That was back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. He was a follower of Tendai Buddhism at his temple, which is a branch of Mahayana or the Tibetan Buddhism. So that's where we have you see in the upper left corner there, or on the side there, you see the medicine Buddha, the blue medicine Buddha. So that's the healing aspect of the Buddhist energy. And then to the upper right there, you see the little hands with the blue little orb there in the center with the white streaks. And that brings us to our Arcturian heritage. So we're talking about Reiki energy being involved possibly all the way 10 million years ago. Because you see the little sand sculpture on the bottom. That was at the temple at Mount Karama in Japan. It's still there today. And that's to symbolize and honor the spaceship that arrived from Venus. They say 7 million years ago. But Tom Kenyon, when he went there in 2001, took the picture and says Sanat Kumara, the ascended master Arcturian, told him it was 10 million years ago. So 3 million years difference. But either way, what was going on in that part of the world 7 or 10 million years ago? So I want to know that history. So hopefully one day we'll find that out. And then you see the man in the center there at the bottom left. That's Dr. Hayashi. He's the one. He is an actual medical doctor. He's the one that provided the 12 basic hand positions that we enjoy today. And then Miss Takata, she was in Hawaii at the time. So before World War II, she went back to Japan to study with Dr. Hayashi, and then brought this wonderful healing modality back to the United States, or back to Hawaii at the time, since it wasn't a state at that time, and began to teach and began to do her energy work, Reiki energy healing at that point. And now we have thousands of Reiki masters and teachers all over the world. So I'm sure she was responsible for most of those. All right, so when we talk about healing, we want to make sure we understand or give you an understanding of what we mean by healing. So by healing, we want to take into account the mental, physical, and spiritual healing, and also that being mind, body, and spirit. So we know that through shamanism, the basic understanding of shamanism is it is the harmony of mind, body, and spirit, and that's how all of us create our reality. Now, shamans, modern shamans, we consciously integrate this mind, body, and spirit to bring our mind, body, and spirit trinity together to help us to create or influence any reality we desire. So when we talk about energy healing, then being mind, body, and spirit, we know that whatever condition exists in anyone's life, it is, was, and will be created with mind, body, and spirit involved. So that means in order to uncreate it or to create a new blueprint for happiness, joy, health, and well-being, it requires the trinity of mind, body, and spirit to create that new plan, that new outlook, the new life. So we want to make sure we understand we want to heal in mind, body, and spirit. So the way we think, the way we move, the way we act, and the way we believe and understand this greater universe that we're all part of, this wonderful cosmic journey we're all on. Now, when you go for a Reiki energy healing, or really any kind of healing, any going to a doctor, right, a nurse practitioner, a dentist, any kind of health professional, what are your expectations for that visit? Is your plan to be healed in one visit, which it certainly is possible because we're shamans, we can do that. Or are you the belief that it's going to take several treatments in order to get you to a place where you are feeling great again? So make sure you understand your expectations of that. And knowing that, just think, if something has taken 30, 40, 50 years of behavior in your 3D body, do we really want to think that we can take care of that in one visit with one practitioner somewhere? So keep that in mind, because you certainly can. You just got to make sure you look at your mind, the way you're thinking, the way you believe, to make that happen. Okay? So understand that from a healing standpoint, mind, body, and spirit. And we want to always create a new blueprint for our body, a new pathway for these energies, these stresses that are not in harmony with our mind, body, and spirit. We want to create a pathway for those to exit the body. So make sure you understand when you're doing energy work, especially if you're a practitioner, Reiki energy practitioner, make sure you always provide an exit point for any kind of pain or stress that's within anyone's body. You make sure you say this out loud so that the body knows exactly how it can remove the stress, the dis-ease from the body. Okay? And make sure you tell your clients, your folks that are there, the healee, make sure you understand that that's something they want to reiterate every single day after the session. Help this energy, the stress that is not in harmony with their body, mind, and spirit, a way to exit the body. So make sure they know that. And then focus. When you go for any kind of healing, do you want this just strictly to be a mental healing, a physical healing, a spiritual healing, maybe two of those or even all three? So just make sure you prepare your mind for that, because remember from our Huna teaching, our Hawaiian shamanism, the world is what you think it is. Okay? So if you think you can be healed of this in one session, then make sure you truly believe that with all of your energy, all of your body cells, so that this healing can take place. So make sure you understand the parameters for energy healing. And of course, the greatest parameter is calm, balance, and harmony. Remember to be calm in your mind, to be balanced in the body, and then to have harmony in your spirit. Again, mind, body, spirit, healing. All right, now, these are some of the objectives in the class that we're going to have next weekend. These would be the performance or learning objectives that we would go through in our classes. And Jeanne, you'll share these with you.
So the first one is examine the history and philosophy of Usui Reiki Roho. And number 2 is practice Reiki hand positions for illness and wellness sessions. Then participate in a Reiki attunement ceremony for each level and perform a full Reiki session. And then if you're taking Reiki 2, is to draw, define, and practice the Reiki 2 symbols.
Right. So we should be able to take care of that in one weekend. So again, we start at least at 10 in the morning, and we'll go to at least 5, and maybe we'll have to go to 6, depending on how you're practicing and how you understand and are absorbing the material. So when we understand the history and philosophy, we want to make sure that that is part of our classes, because the way we have our classes structured here at EarthStar, if someone has Reiki 1 with another Reiki master, they can take Reiki 2 with us and also Reiki master with us. Same thing for our Reiki master classes. You can have your Reiki 1 and 2 with other teachers, but you're still able to teach or take our Reiki master class if you've been attuned by an Usui Reiki master. Okay? Now, for our Reiki master teacher classes, we require that you take the master class with us, because otherwise we're teaching you how to teach from our manuals that we've written for our Reiki sessions. So it would be very difficult to do that if you have not had a Reiki master class physically with us. Okay, and all of our classes are in person, so we don't do anything online right now. I think it's kind of hard to do that, or maybe it's just our way of teaching. We prefer in-person teaching. Maybe we're old school, and that's what we like to do. But the reason I wanted to bring up the history, though, we have found that many people have come to us in a Reiki 2 class. And when I mentioned something about the history that we know of, that we were taught, they don't know anything about it. So we want to make sure that we would cover that again in the Reiki 2 class, so they would know the history and the philosophy behind using Usui Reiki Roho. The hand positions, those are pretty much the 12 basic hand positions that Dr. Hayashi brought forward. But also, you want to make sure that there's different ways we use these hand positions, whether it's an illness treatment, illness session, or if you're doing a wellness session. Right? There's going to be a different way that you can use these movements. And so we make sure that we cover that also. And then, of course, we'll do the Reiki attunement for each level. So there's an attunement for Reiki 1 and an attunement for Reiki 2. And then, of course, before you leave the class, you'll go through a few full Reiki sessions to make sure you can go from start to finish. Right? And then, of course, in the Reiki 2 classes, that's when we integrate the symbols in what we do.
You remember, Dale, back in the day when all of this about Reiki was secretive.
Oh, yes.
It was like you would, like especially in Reiki 2, you would learn the symbols, draw the symbols, be tested on the symbols, and then the paper would have to be torn up or thrown in the trash. You couldn't take it out of the classroom. So all of that has changed now. And it changed with a woman by the name of Diane Stein, who wrote a book and showed the different symbols and so forth. So our premise is that really nothing should be kept secret, that this is for everybody. So.
Yes. So, and we enjoy sharing everything that we know about Reiki in our Reiki classes, so that you'll have a greater understanding, especially on the many dimensional levels, okay, that we teach. All right, good. All right, next slide then. Now, these are some questions that people have asked about taking Reiki classes here at EarthStar. And these are two of probably the most common questions. Why study Reiki with EarthStar if I'm already attuned by another Reiki master? Great question. And then also, what does EarthStar Reiki offer above and beyond standard Reiki training from other teachers? Okay? Now, a favorable reason for studying with us is that we integrate other energy, dimensional healing movement modalities, from Huna to crystals to Qigong to Tai Chi, our other understandings of cultural energy modalities. We integrate all this into our Reiki sessions and Reiki classes in order to give you a greater understanding of energy healing. We also mix in frequencies and harmonies and vibrations for mind, body, spirit healing, because we are in an ascended state for humanity at this time. So we want to make sure that we are in harmony with all of these dimensional energies. So that's what we do at EarthStar. So that's why when people ask, well, what can we do for you? Well, then I can explain that to them. And generally, I'll have them go to our website. So here, let me lay this out for you, and Jeanne will read these for you.
Okay, so the first one, Usui Reiki Roho, the Usui system of natural healing.
Yeah, so we teach the Usui system of natural healing because there's many forms of Reiki. So Usui Reiki Roho is Usui system of natural healing. So you may find, especially when you do an internet search, you may find that there's other forms of Reiki. But I would say most people probably do the Usui system.
And then in Reiki 1, there's an attunement, and that attunement is with the power symbol and our personal master symbols. Dale has a personal master symbol, and I have a personal master symbol. So when you're attuned to Reiki 1, those two master symbols, in addition to the power symbol, will go into the crown of your head.
Yeah, and in that way, there's a linkage between you and us when we do our Reiki, and also should you be a master teacher at one point, all our symbols will also go with you to your students, so that our lineage continues with the Reiki energy, and we get stronger and stronger with every new person learning it.
And then there's the attunement with the Arcturian starlight, and that's the sand sculpture that you saw previously at Mount Kurama.
Yeah, so that's the little sand sculpture there in the bottom right corner. And so that way, when we do the Arcturian starlight attunement, that way you can visualize, you see the picture in the upper left there, you'll be able to visualize not only the blue Reiki ray, but also those little white streaks. It's almost like you're doing warp factor 5 on Star Trek or something when they go to, when they go to warp speed. So you see the stars going by. So this would be the Arcturian starlight for visualization you'll be able to use in your Reiki sessions.
And then in Reiki 2, you're all attuned up with the power symbol, the mental emotional symbol, and the distant Reiki symbol. So those are pretty powerful.
Yes, and those are the symbols we teach in Reiki 2. I don't think we've had anyone come in for Reiki Master after having Reiki 2. It seems like everyone we have met, they have been attuned with these 3 symbols. And when you use these symbols now, they will be written on your body, okay, either by me or by Jeanne during the attunement process. So the power symbol is written, drawn on your body, the mental, emotional symbol is drawn on your body somewhere, and also the distant Reiki symbols. So they are literally, you have a spiritual tattoo with these symbols on your body for Reiki 2. And these are the symbols as they were drawn by Miss Takata. Remember, she's the lady that brought this. She lived in Hawaii and brought Reiki to that part of the world in the United States. So from one of I had 2 Reiki masters in my classes, in my teaching. So one of the masters provided me with the original writing from Miss Takata. So that's the way we draw our symbols.
Right. And then we have a healing acronym of awareness for ceremonial consistency in Reiki sessions. So you want to talk about the healing?
Yeah. And because, you may not be doing Reiki sessions every day. So you have to remind yourself to make sure you stay consistent with the way you set up the room, you set up the Healy, the way you progress through your Reiki session. So with the healing acronym, we can fill that in for you so that you make sure that every single Reiki session is very standardized as far as the ceremonial consistency.
And then we integrate the deep breathing, which is the Qigong techniques for the energy movement. So you're doing this deep breathing as you are laying hands on people as well and doing your Reiki.
Yes. So, and Qigong, of course, is one of the, the triad of Reiki training. We have Buddhism, we have Shintoism, and then we have Qigong. So, and of course, we teach Qigong classes. So, and we're practitioners. So, it's nice to be able to use that deep breathing and the Qigong breathing as we do our energy movements.
So then for Reiki business, we have the North Carolina licensing statutes and procedures for that.
Yeah, to help you to get over any kind of legal situations you may have with your Reiki, and understanding what is and is not required by the state in order for you to do a Reiki business. And, there is no license required for that. So we cover that and go over that so that you can have a very successful and very profitable Reiki business should you take that on. Probably most people on a part-time basis.
So Qigong movements for grounding and centering if you're a water or air person.
Yes, indeed. And we'll learn a few Qigong movements to help you to move and this energy, beautiful Qi energy or Ki energy through your body, helping you to stay grounded, centered, allowing yourself to be in touch with Father Sky and Mother Earth.
So both Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 are one-day classes for certification, and usually, like we do, taught in one weekend.
Yes, so I hope you can join us next weekend as we do that. Okay?
And then we have the Reiki Ideals by Mikao Usui.
Yeah, so we have the Reiki Ideals by Mikao Usui, and that was brought on through the Meiji Emperor. So in the late 1800s, early 1900s, as Japanese culture was evolving, with some Western energies trying to take over their culture. The Meiji Emperor and the society came up with these basic ideals, and Mikao Usui adapted them for Reiki, and they're most pleasant to work with.
Yeah, they all start out with just for today.
Yes.
And then the next one, seated Reiki healing and hand positions.
Yeah, so this is something we teach also because you may have some clients that, if they're in wheelchairs and they can't get on the table, you're certainly going to have to be able to do this seated, and your hand positions will change a bit. And also, let's say you're at a spa or a grand opening somewhere, a healing fair, something like that, and you're doing seated Reiki sessions just as a promo for your business or for someone else, then it's nice to be able to know how you can do a seated Reiki healing session.
And then self-healing techniques and hand positions.
Yes, also very important. If you're going to be a Reiki practitioner, you want to know how to use it on yourself. Okay, So make sure you use the Reiki for yourself, and we'll show you some of the unique hand positions, how you have to make a change there with those. Let me say hello to Tricia.
Hey, Tricia.
Aloha, Tricia. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Oh, beautiful people. Yes, you are. Thank you.
Then we go to standard 12 Reiki hand positions plus 16 joint positions. And that's also Huna, Hawaiian Huna. But we do have standard 12 hand positions. So there is structure, much structure at the beginning.
Yes, because if you're a new energy worker, it's very difficult for you to have any kind of grounding or centering if you're just taught to do things intuitively. Okay.
Ashley's there.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley's here. Okay, good. Oh, Ashley's here with me. Oh, Ashley's here also. Aloha,
Hey,
Ashley. Thanks for being here. Hope you're all having a great time tonight. Call if you need bond money. All right, good. Yeah, so make sure that understand. You want to make sure you're able to heal yourself, because you know how to do Reiki. So you certainly want to be able to do that. And then with the joint positions, with the standard 12 or the Western 12, we've integrated our other healing modalities like Huna, Hawaiian energy. And that way we address each of the joints, which is very much needed during a wellness or an illness treatment in Reiki.
And then techniques to stay energized after a session, not feeling drained. We hear so many Reiki practitioners say they just feel exhausted after they've done a session. So we want to teach you how not to be exhausted after a session. You want to be energized.
Yes, yeah, we don't want to be we want to be energized when we're through with the Reiki, because remember that Reiki energy is flowing through you, so we'll show you how to bring that energy in a very sequential way, so to make sure it comes into you and then goes into the client. Okay?
And then we'll teach some Japanese Reiki words for vibrational and frequency energy healing.
So it's nice to have the Japanese words that we can use in, also some of the Sanskrit words and other words that we can use during our healing time, because vibration is much needed to any kind of energy healing modality at this time, because we're in an ascension phase. We're all ascending as humans. And so, the way we did Reiki 50 years ago, it needs to be bumped up a little, and that's through our vibrational frequency. And it's really nice when we can use Japanese words and numbers, and we'll show you how to use those.
And then visualizing with the blue Reiki ray, which is the same color as the medicine Buddha that you'll see in the top right corner there.
Yes. And now this is one of those topics that one of those modalities or lessons that when people come to us through Reiki 2, and they've had Reiki 1 with someone else, and when we're going through the hand positions, we ask them, okay, now let's go through the hand positions. I'm going to check, make sure you're doing the ones that we do, so I know how to teach. And then when I mention, okay, now you've got the blue Reiki ray, you're visualizing that around them, and they have this look like a deer in the headlights. They've never heard that. So again, very important. You see this background here. You see our colors here, and the colors of the medicine Buddha. We want to make sure that our Reiki sessions are inundated with this beautiful blue ray, and especially if you do the Arcturian ray, and that's these little white streaks, as you see there. Very good. So those are just some of the things that we do in our Reiki classes. So again, if you see any of this and you would like to know about that, well, come to our classes next weekend. Or, go back to your Reiki master, your teacher, and ask if they know anything about this, if they could maybe have a refresher class with you. And that would be nice. Now, another thing that people try to ask, let me get back to the screen here. Folks will, and I understand, it hadn't been thought through, but folks will come in and ask, well, now I've had Reiki 1 and 2 already. As a matter of fact, I'm a Reiki master, so do I get to come to your classes for free, or do I get to come to your classes for a discount? I go, well, the short answer is no, because remember, you can't go to a movie and you see a movie at a theater. Well, then you go across town, and even though you just saw the movie, what are you going to tell the ticket person? Well, I just saw this movie on the theater on the other side of town, so do I get to see this movie for free, or do I at least get a discount? Because I've already seen the movie. And of course, You know how that's going to go. No, you got to pay the full price. Because remember, as we teach in our Reiki master teacher classes, we have one whole day just on instructor training, because you have to know how to teach, right? I mean, that's a skill to teach. And so what people are paying for is your skill to teach. It's not the information, because all you have to do is get on Google University. There's tons of books out there on Reiki, dimensional healing. I mean, you can find all this somewhere. So it's not the information, it's how the information is packaged and shared with people. It's the teaching skill. So that's what we're paying for. Okay. So I understand people don't think through that. I've had people want to come in, just wanted to audit a class. And I went, now, in college that was okay, but remember, they're getting millions of dollars in endowments, and plus you're a registered student there. You just can't come in off the street and audit a class, right? You're already paying tuition to go there. So that's a little different, So just remember, when you're asking that, just be aware of what people are doing to take the time and the cost to them in order to put on a class. So make sure you understand that, because otherwise, you're going to have people that may ask you this question later on too. So, and I know people don't mean anything by it. It's just, they just haven't thought that through. All right. So good. All right. Now let's move on to a healing. We want to make sure we use our Reiki energy tonight to share some healing with you. So this will be a 7-minute healing that we want to do. Let's give you a slide to get you in the proper framework here. So this is our Aloha energy bubble, our alpha sphere, if you have a Merkaba. So if you will, just get nice and relaxed. And then focus on that red root chakra, orange navel chakra, the yellow solar plexus, the green heart, the light blue throat, the deep blue third eye, and then that violet or purple crown chakra. Imagine that aloha bubble all around you. And then imagine this beautiful blue light all around you, little white streaks going through it. And that's the Arcturian Reiki ray. So just imagine that. Now we have our aloha bubble around us. So there's the aloha bubble in the center. There you have Mikao Usui, Dr. Yashi Mastakata there. You see the Reiki hand on each side, that little yellow symbol in the center of that blue. That's the master symbol that Jeanne and I use. You see the Arcturian sand sculpture on bottom left and right. You see the Arcturian starlight in the hands in the very center below the aloha bubble. And then in the upper left and right corners, you see the medicine booth. So universal energy. I'm calm, I'm healed, I'm loved, I'm well. So now, be prepared to just receive this energy, let it go to wherever it needs to go in the body. If you want it to go all over the body, tell the body that. Otherwise, just place your hands on the body part that you want that energy to flow into, and that way it'll come right through the screen and go right to you. All right, here we go. So 7 minutes. And now let's just fluff your chi. Just imagine head to toe, just fluffing down the front, down the sides, down the front torso, down to the pelvic region, down to the legs, all the way to the feet, all the way to Mother. Well, thank you for that energy, wellness, and healing. Thank you for sending that energy back to us. We certainly can feel it in our hands and going all through us. So thank you so much for that. We truly appreciate that. If you have any comments you'd like to share while we're still on, then go ahead and do that, because you can chat with us if you like. And think about, just allow that energy to flow through your body. Allow it to go to any part of your body to help with that dis-ease. Remember, we want to get that stress out. We want to remove that pain, and we want to make sure you give your body a way to exit that pain. So make sure, let's say if I had a pain here on my hand, you want to make sure you press the skin, and then you actually tell the pain, I want you to go right out the end of my fingertip every time I move my hand. You just go out, and then what you're going to do is you're going to replace this area. The pain leaves out. You tell your body to bring in this beautiful blue Reiki ray and just put it right in that same place. Okay? That's what you do. So any part of your body, just touch the body and tell the body where to exit that pain. Okay? And usually through your hands is a great way. So, if it's in the center of the body, we'll just draw with your hands, go all the way up to the shoulders, go down the arms, go down the fingertips, and just let it know this is your exit. Okay? Every time you move your fingers, or if you want to take it all the way down to your foot, every time you take a step, that dis-ease flows out of the body, and then that part of the body is replenished with this blue Reiki ray. So you're most welcome, Patricia. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. You and Ashley. Thanks so very much. So keep working or not. Share this with other folks who want to do the healing. They can just go to that point in the video and just listen to that 7 minutes, because we've watched the replay on other videos and we can still feel the Reiki energy. So it's amazing that it goes through this. Remember, the energy is locked in this dimension of the now, here and now. So it will be here for anyone that wants to use the energy. So you can come back on replay and experience the same thing. Use that Reiki energy, and also other people can use it. So please share that when you get a chance. So thank you for being here tonight. Tricia. Oh, wait a minute. Tricia got something. And such a joy to be with your energy. Thank you. Thank you, Tricia. Thank you to be here with us. Thank you so very much. You have a wonderful weekend. All right. So as we go through the weekend then, I hope you have a great weekend full of peace, love, harmony, and great Reiki chi, good blue chi all around you. Just remember, wherever you go, just imagine that bubble of chi around you. And so that way it's just flaking off everywhere and anywhere you go, and to all those people around you. Okay? So have a great weekend. Heidi says, I love the green tea, and this was powerful tonight. Oh, thank you, Heidi. Thank you so much. And thank you for sending that energy back to us. We felt all that love and aloha. Thank you so much. The name of that song is Green Tea Meditation. That if you ever see that anywhere, it's a wonderful healing song. All right, so let me get to a little ending thing here, and let's do a little pow, and that way we can close out. And you have a great weekend. Remember, we love you. Be the aloha at every moment, and remember, be calm, be healed, be loved, and be well. All right, on three, we'll do a pow. 1, 2, 3, pow. All right, we love you, and have a great weekend. Take care. Aloha.